Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to day 4. Today, we're going to talk about marketing listings and lead generation strategies. We're going to start off with property marketing techniques. Marketing a listing is an art in itself, and the right way to market a listing, I'm going to take you through that today, and that's how you're going to attract a lot of buyers. It's very important to look and get high quality photographs for any of your listings, photos and videos for that matter. You can take photos of your listing through your own iPhone as well, or whatever other phone you're using which has a good camera in it. But it's always better to get a professional photographer to do all photos of your listing and videos as well. And make sure you cover each and every angle of your particular listing, whatever the unique selling points are, or whatever the elements are of main focus, such as the view, maybe the living area, maybe the master bedroom might be great, maybe the outside facade of the villa might be excellent. Maybe it might be overlooking the water or a park or a golf course, whatever it may be, whichever thing you feel the user should first focus on, wherever the attention should go. Make sure you take that very well and have it as the first image of your listing. Virtual tools, if you're able to do, also very good and add a lot of value to it. So try to work on those as well. And make sure your listings have compelling descriptions on them. Don't just keep it generic. Don't just talk about, for example, if it's a building in a certain area, don't just talk about the community by copy pasting another listing. Don't just talk about the building generically. Go through certain elements that will make your listing stand out from the other listing. For example, your unit might be upgraded, so talk a bit about what those upgrades are. Your unit might be rented, whereas others are not, and if that's a positive, put some calculations that how much is the rent, how much is the service charges, and after that, on the purchase price, what exactly does the buyer net in terms of the return that they could get. Maybe the villa is a corner unit located in a perfect area with a lot of privacy, for example, or might be very close to the communal area, and maybe that community has certain elements that are unique. For example, it could have a play area, it could have a lagoon, it could have extra parks, it could have cinemas, it could have malls, pharmacy, whatever it may be. But make sure your unique elements are mentioned in that particular description. It's important to have a very compelling description, because whenever the user is looking at the listing, of course, their first attention is going to price, then probably to photos, then probably to the title, and then they enter the listing and they go through the description. So make sure whatever you feel is important for the user or important for the client is mentioned there. It's important to use all the major portals, right? So you want to be present on Property Finder, you want to be present on Bayut, you want to be present on Dobizzle. The reason for that is outside of UAE as well, certain portals have a bit of a dominance. So maybe you could get clients from a certain part of the region, and there that portal has better exposure as compared to another portal. And you're only going to be able to increase the kind of reach that you're going to have by being present across all of them, right? And it's important that your listings are accurate and up to date. Remember, false or outdated ads are not only unethical but also illegal as per RERA rules. Your listings have to be accurate and up to date, guys, because your price could change. There could be something new in that community that you're not aware of. There could be developments in the rental of your particular unit. So you want to make sure that your listings are always updated. Like have a weekly or a bi-weekly kind of a follow-up and a analysis that you're carrying out on your listings and seeing things that is anything changed. Maybe perhaps the tenant has left and now the unit is vacant, or maybe the rental of the tenant has changed. Perhaps a new mall or a new store or an important restaurant has come into that community. So keep a check on everything and make sure that it's always updated. Perhaps the unit is no longer available for rent or for sale. You want to not waste unnecessary marketing dollars by putting the listing out there, right? Anyways, now things have changed, because as soon as the unit is sold, we get a notification by RERA, right, that this unit has been sold, a contract have signed, so please remove it. But previously, we used to make sure that the listings are updated and removed as soon as the transaction has been done. Any advisor who's having any kind of listing online must have a RERA permit for ad, right? So no fake listings or no using developer images without permission. Make sure the images that you're using are unique to yourself, taken by yourself, do not have any people in them, do not have any important artifacts or images of any family staying over there, cover a wide angle, and display the most important elements. And the way you display all the images is also important in a listing, right? There has to be a sequence to it. Don't make the error of maybe showing the living room first and then jumping to the kitchen and then suddenly jumping to the maid's room and then going to the bedroom and then going back to the kitchen and then moving back to the living room. Just imagine it this way, that the buyer who's reviewing the listing and is seeing the images is probably able to do somewhat of a viewing through your images, right? So take them through in that sequence. Like, start off with something and then make sure that the element continues. It's as if you're taking the buyer, showing them the property and walking them through all the important elements and making sure the pattern is there, and don't keep it very random. And make sure the most important image, the most important element of that property is the title image. That's where the user's attention is going to go first, okay? Secondly, a bit about online and offline marketing. So there are digital strategies that you can use to market your listing. So social media advertising can be done through Instagram, Facebook groups for real estate, even the videos that you take for your particular property, the images that you take for your property, please do share them on your social media as well, right? Not necessary that all the buyers will come through on the property portal as well. So post maybe in a thumbnail or as a slider, maybe 10, 15, 20 images of the property, end it with a video and put a description of the property in terms of what's attractive about it, what's the sale price, which community it's in, and any kind of open houses you're organizing, and create that element also on your social media. So post it on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok videos if you want to put, YouTube if you have a nice horizontal video of the property, like a proper walkthrough video of the property, post it on YouTube. That's also very helpful. Put it up on LinkedIn if you need to. Get as much exposure as you can for your property. Do email campaigns. If you might be selling a certain property in a location and you have database of the owners over there, send out an email campaign to them. Perhaps you had previous inquiries in that same community from old clients with whom the deal never followed through. Keep their database and send them an email that, hey, a new property has popped up in an area, or hey, I remember you were asking for this particular villa in this community. I have a great opportunity that's come in. These are the details, these are the images. Would you like to come in for a viewing? And WhatsApp broadcast as well to your client list. So every time you have a client, every kind of lead that you communicate with, please segment them as to, okay, this person was interested in buying a villa, their budget is this, and create them into different WhatsApp lists. As and when you get a property listing offline or online, do share with them. If you, for example, if it's a listing, you can share the listing link. If you put it up and made a flyer out of it, share that with them. If you put up a video on your social media, share that with them. You never know where the deals might come through. Also focus on traditional methods, right? Like, for example, signboards. It's a great idea that if you have a listing of a villa for sale in a certain community, put a signboard at the entrance of it. Obviously, depending on what the regulations are and if the landlord is okay with it and if the community management allows you to do so. But by all means, put a signboard or put a sticker after taking all the approvals on the villa for sale, your name, your number, your image if need be, and your broker reference number. Put it out there. Whoever is driving by, whoever is walking by, might look at it and be like, hey, this seems interesting. I might forward it to a friend of mine, or I might forward it to a family member who asked for it. Print flyers. I mean, you don't need to print it, but create digital flyers which can have 5-6 images of the property, the title of it, and then few elements such as the size of it, the number of bedrooms, if rented, what's the last transaction in the community, what are the comparables. So a single page of flyer that you can post as your status on WhatsApp, on Instagram, and you can share it with all your clients. And of course, attend networking events within those areas as well, right? For example, you might have listings in DIFC and you might be able to attend networking events in DIFC. So have a chance to talk to people and see what they're doing. They might be working in DIFC, they might be exploring a property. Great opportunity for you to get face-to-face time with the clientele that you're actually looking for. And it's important to develop a personal brand presence online, guys. Sharing marketing updates or property tools, it builds your credibility. Like, this goes to show to the people who are following you and your clients that you're out there in the market. You're accumulating properties. You are looking at selling. You are having inventory in your hand. You're building your data, and you know about the value that's going on over there. You're understanding that particular market. So build your credibility online. Buyer lead generation. So what are some of the tactics in order to generate buyers leads? You can host open houses for a lot of exposure. So any good property, it could be a high-end penthouse, it could be a luxury villa, host an open house. For example, plan it 1 week to 10 days in advance. Create your flyers, create your invites, your brochures, whatever you need, and prepare email campaigns for it. Put it up on your social media, boost that post, put some marketing dollars behind it, boost that post, decide the proximity that you want to target depending on what the target audience of your buyers could be like. Spread that invite within your circle of other brokers, other advisors who might be working within that area. You might have WhatsApp groups, you might have Facebook groups of other agents. So invite them to the open house, have some light snacks and drinks at the open house, do a small presentation, do a lot of walkthroughs. So that's where you'll get a lot of buyers leads. Maybe a buyer might walk into that property that day, or maybe an agent might walk in who might get a buyer at a later date. So that'll help you a lot. It's very important to respond promptly to online inquiries. And it's interesting to know that 85% of callers who are unable to reach you won't try to call you back. So it's very important that you immediately answer their call. If they drop you a WhatsApp message, you immediately respond to them and get that conversation going. The reason for this is, everyone's attention span has become very short right now. And this is something that you might also realize. If you're trying to shop for something, let's say you end up going to a different country and you're trying to shop for, I don't know, maybe like a travel tour, or maybe you're trying to get a restaurant booking, right? Because you're at it and it's in your mind right now, and you have time, you have availability, and you want to kind of get to the end of it, you start to look for people maybe on your Instagram, maybe on Google, maybe you ask some friends, or maybe there's a portal that you go to. You message someone or you call someone and they don't answer. You immediately go on to the next person, right? You don't wait for them to call back most of the times, because you need to get that work done ASAP. Same goes with listings. And so if they are dropping you a message, or if they are dropping you a call, and if you don't answer, chances are your client is then gone to the next listing. And if that person answers and they get a conversation going, a rapport starts to build, then you've already lost your opportunity. They will offer to them the property that they have, and they can potentially offer them the property that you also have. If that client's communication with that particular advisor is great, the advisor could be smart enough and tell them that, hey, I understand this is your requirement. The property that I have might not fit your requirement, but why don't I take this hard work off your hands? I don't want you to waste your time in calling every other person on the listing. I have certain other listings. I have friends within this network, and I will call them and I will try to get this property. This is why you might be getting a lot of calls from other real estate advisors saying, by the way, hey, I have a buyer client, and would you be open to work with me on your property that is listed online? And you might be wondering that why is it that you're not getting any direct calls, whereas you're getting calls from a lot of advisors? Because they are attracting the client, they are gaining them through their particular listing, and in case it doesn't work, they're then reaching out to you. So that speed of reply and that immediate response has to be really quick. It's super important, because if you don't reply to them immediately, if you don't answer that call, chances are that they will move on. And once they've gone to 2, 3, 4 advisors and calls, they're probably going to get someone. Even for a client, it's not that convenient, right, to talk to 5 different advisors, to get 5 different opinions, to coordinate on 5 different timings. They feel comfortable if they have someone good who they can communicate with, who then in turn can try to do the same work for them that they were anyways going to do. So it's super, super important that you respond to your inquiries immediately. And you nurture your leads in a CRM, whatever CRM you're using. In case the lead is automatically coming into it, make sure you keep updating it. It might not close today, it might close after 3 months. But if it's there in your CRM, you will know exactly, okay, last conversation was that we spoke and we concluded with this, but they said they're going through their mortgage procedure and it'll take them 2 to 3 months in order to get their financing ready. Right, now it will be the right time to tap them. So you set up a reminder on your CRM and it tells you after 2 3 months, okay, please contact this client XYZ, because now they probably would have secured their mortgage. Stress quick follow-up, guys. Speed and persistence can convert an inquiry into a sale. You gotta be quick. You gotta answer that call at the first instance. You gotta reply back to that inquiry immediately. And it's okay, I understand you're probably busy, there's a lot going on, you might be in viewings. That's okay. All you need to do is reply to them by saying, hey, I appreciate your inquiry. Thank you for reaching out to me. I'm just in the middle of a couple of viewings, or in between a transfer, or in between an important meeting. Bear with me for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and I'll be sure to get back to you. That's great. This gives them the clarity, and this gives them the confidence that, great, my inquiry has reached the right person and they're busy right now, but in 30 to 45 minutes they will get back to me. So chances are what I'm looking for, I'm eventually going to get. So I don't need to continue my search. I can put my phone aside and I can get back to what I was doing. That's exactly what you would do if you were traveling to a different country and want to book a restaurant or want to book a tour guide. If someone replies to you, great, I have a point of contact, someone's established that, made it very clear, they're going to get back to me, I know what to expect now, that's it. I don't need to continue this hunt anymore. So it's very important that we reply ASAP. Capturing investor interest. Many UAE buyers are investors, right? A lot of them come from other parts of the world as well. So a lot of people buying into UAE, specifically off-plan properties, they're investors. So you got to create a targeted content for them. So write blogs, attend seminars, or host webinars as well. We've seen that they work great. Blogs, for example, on a weekly or a bi-weekly basis, you can organize and create blogs about communities or areas. For example, you can write a blog this week about Business Bay. What's good? What kind of families are moving into Business Bay? What schools are there, if any? What kind of hotels are there? What's the proximity to the closest hospital? What kind of units are available in that area? If you were to buy a one bedroom, what kind of pricing would you get? Against that, what kind of rental would you be able to achieve? What has been the growth factor in this area? What are the new developments coming in this area? Why is it important to look at this area? What's the target audience over there? Again, you can move this on to Arabian ranches, for example. So write these kind of blogs, talk about areas, talk about communities that you're going to work on, that you're already working on, and outlay all the important elements. This will help clients understand that great, you're an expert in this field, you're an advisor who knows what they're talking about, you know your area. So if they want something in that area, they will come to you. Seminars, attend seminars. There are a lot of seminars happening across the board, right, in the market. There might be seminars linked to business, to stock markets, to trading, to crypto, to real estate, to setting up businesses, whatever they may be. Attend those and talk to people and network. Webinars, guys, webinars have worked wonders. So we organize multiple webinars for our clients in India. So what we do is we take them through every element. So it's a one and a half hour presentation that I do. So we take them from our history about our business and what we do, about how can people from India invest into Dubai, what are the tax benefits, what are the currency benefits, how to transfer funds, what kind of income can they generate, what's the difference between investing into real estate in a city in India as opposed to investing into a city in UAE, what kind of rental yield can they generate, what are the developers that are active in Dubai, how to assess what kind of investment is suitable for you, how to plan forward, how to obtain mortgages, how to access bank financing, how to get golden visa on your property, how to look at company formation, how to exit your investment and reinvest it elsewhere, what kind of timeline would you need to be involved into if you want to do secondary deal, what's the procedure for transfer and what's the requirement to be there, if you want to buy off plan, what's the payment plan like, what are the areas to focus on, what are the hotspots, all of this covered within one and a half hour webinar. So basically the person who's attending the webinar right from the start to the end knows everything that they need to do about real estate, mortgages, golden visas, financing within the market. And after that, we keep a 15-minute session wherein they can ask their questions. And after that, we'll do one-on-one consultation. So one of my team members will take over after that. Whichever client is interested, they will continue with their one-on-one consultation. And this, we do it in batches of 10 to 15 people only, not for a larger audience. And we do this on a weekly basis. So on a Saturday or a Sunday, 1.5 hours is booked for this. Webinars are a great tool. Let's say you're catering towards a market. Let's say you're catering towards the British market, Indian market, Chinese market, whatever market it is that you're catering. For that particular market, create a webinar. And whoever you're talking to, tell them that, by the way, on this date, I'm doing this webinar, please sign up. And you record the session and share it with them afterwards as well. This is a great tool just to engage the clients and to share with them all the information that you have and let them then come back. Out of 10, 12 people, you'll be sure to get 2, 3 people who will convert as clients for you. And then if you plan a roadshow in that particular area, organize webinars, do it with 50 to 100 people, tone down the final 5, 10, 15 genuine audiences that seem to be closable. And then when you go for the roadshow, invite them over, meet them face to face. Your deals will convert. They'll happen on the spot itself. Investment opportunities, high ROI areas, new project launches to draw in all these investor leads. Okay. And it's important to measure effectiveness as well, right? Like nothing that we do is sufficient without us tracking the metrics of how well are we doing it. So tracking metrics is very important in marketing. Whenever you have any kind of listings, it's important to go back to it on a weekly basis when you do your listing checkup and see how many views have you got per your listing, how many clicks did you get, how many offers did you get, how many leads did you generate. So maybe you got 1,000 views per your listing, right? That means 1,000 people put their eye on your listing, which is good, which is a great number, but you didn't even get 5 inquiries. What does that mean? Meaning your image was probably great, the pricing was good, maybe the title was great, but when they went in and they saw the description and they saw those other details, or they saw the videos and detailed images apart from the title one, something didn't click. That goes to show that you have to change something. Maybe you need to broaden your description, you need to specify a bit more, maybe you need to change the sequence of your images, put more elements out there, whatever it may be. It's important to analyze your metrics. Maybe you got many views, maybe you got many leads generated, but it did not transact, it did not conclude. Why could that be? Maybe the pricing is not working well. So it gives you a tool to then go back to the seller and say, hey, by the way, great exposure. I got X number of views. I got a lot of leads. I did 10 viewings, for example, but every client had the same issue, which was price. So we need to work upon it. So you got to test your metrics, you got to work out the numbers and use those tools in order to figure out how do you improve it now? How do you ensure that the transaction can be concluded? Advisors should learn to double down on what works and refine what doesn't, guys. You'll improve, you'll get better, you'll know exactly this element is working for you. Great, let's double down on it. This element you tried, it didn't work. That's okay. Tried and tested, right? Focus towards something else. This is what will make your marketing efforts increasingly cost effective. It's not worth it to spend your marketing dollars somewhere where you're not getting any kind of return, right? For you as an individual advisor and for us as a company as well. So it's important to understand where exactly you're getting the maximum amount of benefit. So this covers our day 4 in terms of marketing techniques and lead generation. If you have any questions centered around this, please do drop them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer it. And we'll be back again tomorrow with another session. Thank you.